Is Frank de Jong Manchester United inbound? Well, many sources have been saying that Manchester United have been in negotiations with Barcelona over the player Frank de Jong. Now, Barcelona, as we all know, are going through financial issues, and the best asset that they're willing to sell right now is Frank de Jong. Right now, the most recent bid for Man United was 60 million plus add-ons that would go up to 10 million. So basically 70 million in total. But Frank de Jong is valued a little bit more by Barca, and I believe Barca want to milk everything they can from Man United in this signature because they really do need the funds. And Frank de Jong has really fallen out of Xavi's favoritism. If you really think about it, I've seen him being subbed out a lot and not used as much. But De Jong has not expressed a desire to leave. And if he were to leave, he wants Champions League football. And as we all know, Manchester United does not have Champions League football. That does hurt their chances for Frank de Jong to come to Manchester United. Now, Erik ten Hag does have a history with De Jong because he managed De Jong at Ajax in their little Champions League run that led up to the semifinals where they were knocked out by Spurs and Lucas Moura last minute goal. But could we see a reunion between these two former Ajax employees? Well, I believe so. I think it's very possible for Frank de Jong to be a Manchester United player because Man United, they are all in Erik ten Hag's vision and project that he has for Manchester United to bring them back to the old days. But I think this isn't a very good signing. Now, Manchester United basically lost Pogba on a free, and they are getting Van der Beek back. Van der Beek, when he was signed, he was supposed to be the replacement for Pogba if he were to leave. Like the depth, he was going to be the backup to Pogba. And now Pogba has left and Van der Beek is coming back. So you have your number 8 now in Van der Beek. Now, what does Frank de Jong come in as if he were to sign for Man United? Well, he is more of a number 8, kind of like Van der Beek. He is not a holding midfielder. And the thing is, Manchester United has had a holding midfielder problem for the longest. They have had Scott McTominay or Fred playing that role, and it just has not worked out. And they need a guy who can play the ball and win the ball constantly like an N'Golo Kante type of role, a defensive midfielder. And right now they're prioritizing the Frank de Jong signature. And many reports have said that Manchester United will not have a huge transfer budget this summer. So that means it's going to be around 120 million, the transfer budget. So they're going to blow most of the transfer budget on Frank de Jong. And this is not a holding midfielder, which has been their main problem. They need a guy kind of like Bizamu from Brighton. They need someone like that. But right now they're not even linked to a player of that caliber and that play style, which is kind of worrying if you're a Manchester United fan because that should be your priority signature. Now, another rumor that has been going around is the player Timber from Ajax has been rumored for about 45 million is his valuation from Ajax to Manchester United. Now, this is a positive signature. This is the center back who's young and has a lot of promise. You can pair him up with Rafael Varane and get rid of Harry Maguire because he has been poor. And you get 2 good center backs. That would be a plus. Right now, Man United is looking at Bailly, Lindelof, Maguire in their center back room, and they need an upgrade there as well. Well, Man United need a lot of upgrades, but center back, center defensive midfielder should be the priority. And then fullback, of course, because they do have guys who can play fullback that are good in quality, but for some reason they haven't been performing. And maybe Erik ten Hag, changes a thing or two. I know Diego Dalot has been told, we're going to use you next summer, we're not selling you, or next season. Alex Tejas is a quality player. Luke Shaw his day is great. You got all these guys, and then you got youngsters like Garnacho, who's coming in out of the ranks, who's playing well for the U20s in Argentina. These are quality players, and of course you got Ronaldo. And they've got 2 major holes that cost them many games, and it's center back and center defensive midfielder. And if you're a Man United fan, you should be worried. Frank de Jong isn't going to go in there and fix your midfield. He is a quality player, don't get me wrong. And he can come in and play number 8 and be one of the best in the Premier League. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes in and gets one of the best players one of the best midfielders, gets player of the team of the season for the Premier League in the midfield. I wouldn't be surprised. He's a good player. He's a young, promising. He's still kind of in his prime or about to hit his prime. But you need a center defensive midfielder. Scott McTominay and Fred do not cut it in the midfield. I'm thinking there's so many options out there. You need to explore, and I think your main transfer should be that. And you shouldn't worry about the transfer budget being like, oh, we've already spent 70, 80 million on De Jong. Now we only have 40 million left. How are we going to buy a center back and a center defensive mid with 40 million? Those are the things that Man United have to think about, because they're looking at a Europa League and Premier League and all the cups, and they want top 4 next season. I guarantee you, Man United's goal next season is Champions League football one way or another. And right now, the team that they got right now doesn't have the depth or the quality to win the Europa League or get one of the 4 top spots in the Premier League. Now, if they were to solve these issues, we could see Man United hop from 6 to top 4. But right now, as it looks like, they're just signing another player that they have players of quality in that role, and it is Van der Beek, who can play the number 8 and his quality as well, but they're going to buy a similar player to him in Frank de Jong. And I do understand these two players played for Ajax together, but you had another guy there that was playing with them. It was not just them two in the midfielder. You're not going to play 6 and the 8, these two. Obviously, Van der Beek was playing center attacking mid, and de Jong was playing the 8, and they had a center defensive midfielder. But they have Bruno Fernandes, who plays the 10 position. So, obviously, Van der Beek is not benching Bruno. So, he's going to go into the 8 if he plays. And they need a center defensive midfielder. They even lost on Matic on a free. So, they don't even have an experienced player like that. So, Man United has to find a way to solve that problem. And it should be a priority. But Frank de Jong, I believe that it is a very possible signing for Man United to sign the player, just because Barca has so many financial problems and they need money in order to buy Lewandowski, Christensen, all these players that they want to buy. But we'll see what happens. Anyways, leave a comment down below if you think Frank de Jong solves Manchester United's problems, or if they should look for a different signing in the midfield. And please like and subscribe for more videos like this, and thank you guys.